go. And how are y'all doing today? Let me get my cohort in this as well. And let's take a look. And how are we doing today?
What's going on, Remy?
I'm doing all right, Mr. Cobra, Cobra Man. All right. So, first of all, I want to say was good. It's good to see you again. Seems like I saw you just last week, and I
Yeah.
did see you just last week. All right. So it's good to see you, and uh, and I hope everything's going well in your part of the world. You know, and
Uh,
today we're going to do the top 10 guitar players that you consider your list of all time. Uh, you don't have to tell me about each one of them right now, but tell me what you look for in a guitar player, um, Cobra.
guitar player, look for technical skills, improvisation.
Okay, and
Being
okay.
a pupil myself of the art of being a guitarist.
Mhm.
Some guys are more technical. Some guys improvise more. It's all about the music style.
Right. Okay. Well, I can understand that. And so, is there a particular genre?
Well, for me, it's all about metal. So
Uh-huh. All right. All right. Well, then, I mean, that's fine. I mean, sometimes some of these guitarists can go from playing you know heavy metal to you know to just regular hard rock or something else. I remember there was a concert with um, Van Halen, and then um, what's his name? David Lee Roth began to was telling Eddie something about where he had graduated from, which I believe was Pasadena High. This was at the Hollywood Bowl, and and Eddie he broke out on playing some Smoke on the Water, which I thought was pretty cool, you know. But he played it his style because he's got a distinctive style of how he plays, you know.
yeah.
So, but okay, well let me see here, and of course this is your list, and of course I'm coming to you from Hilltop Studios, right? And let's take a look at your list here, and these are your order, right? Who you believe?
Mhm.
Okay. Is there something else I can? Oh, you hear that? That was Siri. Did you hear Siri?
Yeah, so you're trying to be in the podcast too, or what?
Yeah, she's crazy. She's not wanted right now. Okay, so this is Cobra Commander's top 10 list, and at number 10 is tell me about this guy right here.
And it's gonna be George Lynch from Dokken,
Okay,
uh, '80s band. Heavy metal. Out of influences, George is ranked in the top 100 as one of the most influential guitarists of the '80s.
okay,
I believe he's ranked at 68.
wow,
Yeah.
okay, and
So you have the '80s hair band.
right,
Back in the day, kind of. This is a kind of stuff I listened to back then when I was growing up. So Dokken was one of the bands, and George Lynch was the lead guitarist for that band. So
okay. Is he still with what is he doing now?
as there's no more Dokken. He had his own band called the Lynch Mob, and
Okay.
that's kind of more of a '90s thing. Up to right now.
Hmm. Okay. So, by the way, is Dawkins still around? I haven't heard too much from them.
Yeah, you don't really hear too much anymore about Dokken. That was back in the '80s kind of era, the good old days.
Right. Right. You
make
know,
music like that anymore.
yeah, I can. I mean, I understand. I mean, I remember, and I don't know if you saw the acceptance speech from. You talk about the good old era, yeah. The acceptance speech, John Bon Jovi. You know, one of the best entertainers of all time. Um, he said that in the '80s, he pretty much they pretty much ruled the '80s as far as his kind of rock. But then he said in the '90s, rock and roll got a kick in the teeth by the grunge scene, right? That came out. So what is he with that statement? What is he exactly saying about grunge music?
Well, to me, it's like grunge music was kind of like dirty, kind of. It's what Nirvana and Pearl Jam, and
Mhm.
not all of it was bad. Some of it was good. You had
Yeah,
some good bands like
yeah,
Stone Temple Pilots and
yeah. Well,
uh,
yeah, but it's just that it came from I guess I can say it, an elder statesman in rock and roll. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
For him to say, we gotta get rock and roll, got to kick in the teeth, and
Well,
yeah,
it's kind of like a different era. I mean,
yeah, and I mean, I'm still not a big fan of it, and I don't think I'll ever be. But I mean, it's kind of good that that music is starting to eventually just die off, you know. And so hopefully it'll progress into something better. But so George Lynch is still active, huh?
yeah,
All right.
it's still active.
Well, I mean, I've never seen Doc in concert, but I'm pretty sure they put on a pretty good show, right? Don
Oh
Dokken.
yeah, yeah.
All right, that's a number two. By the way, where's George from?
George is from Washington, Spokane, Washington.
Oh, so he's also part of the grunge thing, huh?
Yeah,
Well, he grew up within that area anyway. Okay.
yeah. It probably
So
influenced some other guitarists. So
yeah,
that.
that's true. That's true. Okay, so that's George Lynch at number 10, according to the top 10 list from Cobra Commander. All right, and at number 9, well, this man needs no introduction, but still, it's Mr. McMars.
Mick Mars.
Yeah.
Yep.
What's going
Just,
on with Mick?
we brushed up a little bit on Mick Mars when we did the top 10. Was it the top five for the best drummers of all time? And we had Tommy Lee on that list,
Tommy
and
Lee,
we
yeah.
kind of established that Mick Mars is the one that makes the band what they are.
Yeah, they do. Yeah.
So
I mean, I completely agree. Just due to the fact that, Eddie Van Halen has that distinctive sound, right? Mick Mars has that distinctive sound as well. You know, it's not as rough as Metallica in a way. It's got some clarity to it, but he does give it that distinctive sound. So is he? What's he doing nowadays, Mick?
well, I don't know. Is Motley Crue getting back together? Or are they going to do another tour? Or is COVID-19 thing stopping all that from happening?
Oh, that's right. They were supposed to do a tour, right?
Yeah,
Like
they said they weren't going to tour anymore, and then all of a sudden they wanted to come out again. So
yeah, that's right. It was gonna be them, Def Leppard. Who else?
was it like Joan Jett or somebody like that?
Joan Jett. I think there was that one more band. There were
Yeah,
three of them. Wasn't the Scorpions? Was it?
I could. I don't know if it was the Scorpions or not.
Yeah. And that's. I mean, the thing with the Scorpions, those guys they're always retiring and coming back. Can never get rid of those guys. I mean, I think if they were done like 2 farewell tours, you know.
Yeah,
But I like to see. I've seen Mick and his boys, in concert. They put on a really good show, you
yeah,
know. And if it wasn't for his guitar playing or him playing, for them, I don't think I'd go. That's how good he is. He makes the band. He gives it that unique, sound.
yeah. The sound. Yeah,
Yeah. So, but yeah, He's a great guitarist, and I know he's got some kind of what is it? Some kind of health issue, right?
Yeah, some I'm not too sure what it's called, but it's something wrong with his he
Is
had
it
a hip replacement
hip replacement? Yeah,
for some kind of ailment that he has. But hey, that ain't slowing him down.
yeah. No, I mean that's I mean as long as it doesn't hurt him to stand up too much, but I know his mobility isn't that what it used to be.
Yeah, it's,
So,
some kind of chronic inflammatory form of arthritis
well, there you
that
go.
affects the spine and the pelvis.
Oh man, that's
Yeah,
gotta not be very comfortable.
yeah,
Well, I hope I hope his health improves or doesn't get any worse, and I hope to see him in concert, a few more times,
yeah,
uh,
definitely.
and before they call it quits. Maybe you and I need to make it to a show.
Yeah.
You know, I don't know if I'd want to do the entire stretch of seeing 3 or 4 bands all at one time. You know, I've been to one of those Ozfests. Yeah, after about 5 or 6 hours, you're like, God darn. And that was years. That was like 20 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Now that you're getting a bit, I'm getting older. I don't know about that. I sit my ass down. I can't do
that's
that no more.
that's how you do like me, man. Is you go sit in the VIP so you won't be standing.
Yeah, let's do VIP, man, because I'm gonna be like, damn, your legs are swollen. Yeah, I'll tell you that's right, But that comes with age. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So Mr. Mick Mars, Cobra's pick at number 9 and at number 8 on Cobra's top 10. Tell me about this guy.
Is that Adrian Smith
No,
or is
that's
that Dave Murray?
Dave Murray.
Dave Murray.
Yeah.
Yeah, Dave Murray. That's another one of the greatest bands of all time, Iron Maiden.
And they still tour. That's
Yeah,
good.
they tour. Yeah.
Yeah, they're a touring band. So he plays rhythm for them, right?
Yeah, rhythm guitarist. Yeah.
Okay. So now I don't know if you can hear in the background. There's a railroad track not too far away from Hilltop Studios. They pass a lot at night. So if you hear any kind of noise, please forgive me. So okay, he's rhythm. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So if you had to compare rhythm guitar players, Dave Murray or Paul Stanley?
Well, I'm not much of a Kiss fan myself, so it's gonna be a automatic Dave Murray right there.
Yeah.
Nothing wrong with Kiss. It's not something like I was like maybe Detroit Rock City, maybe.
Yeah.
That I would listen to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I mean, because I don't know. I can't recall too many bands as far as like the rhythm guitar players. But I know when I've seen Dave in concert, with Iron Maiden, you can hear Dave Murray and Adrian Smith switching. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The chord, the switching the chord progressions through the transition. You're like,
Yeah.
It's like.
Have you ever listened to The Trooper?
Yes, I have. Yeah.
They has a dueling guitars. The licks on that song.
Yeah.
All the riffs. They have dueling riffs on that song, so you can, if you really know music, you can hear who's doing what and what parts are playing.
Right. Well, no, I know when you go see them live, it's particularly like Iron Maiden, and they just start they go off and they're just jamming, right?
Yeah.
You got that feeling where you're just kind of like, yeah, you can do this all night, it just kind of that if you go to a good place that has good good sound system, but the music just travels well across the building. You're like, and I love some of their instrumentals that they do as well, and they do a really good job on those, and Let me take a look here. And so, by the way, he's from England, right?
Yep, they're from England. Yeah, British heavy metal.
Yeah.
Again, from the 80s.
Yeah. Were they with? Did they come out the same time as Judas Priest, or was it before?
Um, I would say maybe like 1985, maybe.
Okay. 1985. Okay. Well, I mean, I will tell you on my list when it comes to my iTunes for the people that are watching this, um, from Iron Maiden, Transylvania live. That's an instrumental. The Eyes
Mhm.
of March, Iron Maiden. I think it's Killers. Lost for Words, Iron Maiden, right? And then Genghis Khan as well from Iron Maiden. Those are all instrumentals, which I would highly recommend to people to listen to get a better appreciation for his body of work. Okay, so and to this day, he has not gotten into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. You know,
Yeah.
which I think is not right. But yet you can have Green Day in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. In fact, they got in there. They got in there before Kiss, before Journey, before Rush. It's like,
Yeah.
come on. But that's nothing but a popularity contest. Basically they're just kissing people's butts just to get in there.
Yeah, yeah. That or who did they pay?
Yeah. Well, who's picking them? And I believe it's a guy from Rolling Stone. So that I mean, if it were up to me, I think I'd throw a lot of those people out of there. You
Mhm.
know. But okay, so this is number 8 for Mr. Cobra Commander, and at number 7, ooh, tell me about this guy,
Adrian Smith.
Adrian Smith. Yes, one of the best leads out there.
Yeah. Again, yeah. Iron Maiden again. Yeah, lead guitar player.
All right, and
Adrian Frederick H. Smith from the English, again, a British guitarist.
yeah, so he had left Iron Maiden for a while, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was pursuing his own thing.
Mhm.
Psycho Motel.
Yeah. Did he leave at the same time? Bruce Dickinson left.
I believe so.
Okay. Well, I know he wrote one of my favorite songs, which is "Wasted Years."
Yeah.
That's a really good song. And once again, I've seen him in concert, and the guitar work, and these are heavy metal performers, both him and Dave, but their music has really good clarity. You can hear them, and it's nothing's distorted. They play
Yeah.
really good. You know, uh, if you were just to take out the drums and the vocals and just the guitar playing itself, you'd be
Yeah.
like, oh man, this is beautiful. And it is. They put out really great sounds, and the pick at 7, that's a good pick. Both he and Dave do deserve to be in the top 10. So this is a good pick, which is Adrian Smith from Iron Maiden,
Yeah.
lead guitar player. Okay, now this one kind of took me for a loop here, but I mean, this is your pick. This is your list.
Those are my picks, man.
That's right. Much respect. Much respect. And tell me about this gentleman,
Um,
Jakey Lee.
Jakey Lee.
Yeah,
Jakey Lee, one of the guitarists for Ozzy Osbourne
yeah.
back in like we said, the good old days.
So where's he originally from?
He's from Norfolk, Virginia.
Okay, so I mean, Mr. Lee is he Japanese
No,
descent?
he's American.
Okay.
No.
So he's not Asian.
I don't know if he's Asian or not.
Okay, really? Okay. I mean, because wow, I always thought he was, he was Asian, but I guess,
He might be.
yeah.
Yeah,
But yeah, which was of course the album he came out with Ozzy was Bark at the Moon, right?
yeah. He was with Ozzy between 1982 and 1987.
82 and 87. Wow. How many albums did they put out with Ozzy?
Mm, I'm not sure how many albums that they were able to put out together.
Mhm.
But Randy Rhodes, who we'll talk about later, unfortunately had an accident and passed away. So here comes Jakey Lee.
Mhm. Well, I mean, he was, not the guitarist Randy was, but I mean, he held his own, you know.
And, he held his own. He some of the tuning on his guitar to some of the songs. It's you really gotta be into guitar playing to know what he's doing.
Uh-huh.
So I mean, um, trying to think of that song, "Shot in the Dark."
Right.
Have you ever heard that song? I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah.
that's got like the weirdest tuning ever, but he made it work. So, and that was one of those hits for Ozzy. So
Right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah. And what's he doing nowadays?
nowadays, not sure what he's doing nowadays. I mean, he's played with Badlands, Rat, Dio, Rough Cut, all these other bands that he's played with, but I'm not sure what he's doing nowadays.
I guess he's in
He's,
Virginia.
he's
He,
like 63 years old now, so
really? Wow. Well, with rockers, you can be 25 or 63. You still look pretty much the same. Pretty worn down.
yeah.
But well, I guess he's Virginia. What are you doing? A tobacco? He probably has tobacco farms in Virginia or whatever. I don't know. He's on there montando caballo, right? Yeah. No, I mean, but well, I like. I've never seen him in concert. Sad to say, but if he ever happens to, you know, pay a visit in to my parts, I would certainly, I'd certainly go out, grab a brew, see what the guy can do, And like I said, but live is a little bit different, you know.
Yeah.
When you play live, you bury your soul. You know what I'm saying? You gotta show the people why they paid, why they
Yeah,
paid money to come.
your skills got to be right
Yeah,
on par.
sure. No, completely. I understand.
I
All
see
right, so this is number six
some of
for
these bands that
yeah. So this is number six for Mr. Cobra Commander. This is Jakey Lee, and at number five, jeez, and at number five, oh boy, this is you gotta tell me about this here.
Zach Wild,
Zach Wild.
another guitarist for Ozzy.
Yeah. So, how old was Zach Wild when he joined Ozzy?
Yeah, I don't know how old he was.
Pretty young, right?
Yeah, when he joined Ozzy, yeah, he was pretty young. Yeah.
How many albums did he put out with Ozzy?
Albums, I'm not sure, but he was with Ozzy Osbourne for quite a while.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Now he's got his own band, the Black Label Society.
Okay.
Yeah, little rougher guitarist. More improvisation than technicality. In my opinion, But, he's on the top five there because dude rocks.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, he wouldn't be in your top five if he didn't. And
Yeah,
where's this guy originally from?
Zach Wild. He is from New Jersey.
New Jersey. Okay.
Yep.
that some people consider the armpit of the United States. Okay.
Dirty Jersey, right?
Yeah, dirty Jersey. Yeah, particularly Newark, and of course for all our Newark fans, New Jersey, we're just playing. Okay, that's just a word out there. Not that I believe any of it. I don't know about Cobra. I don't believe any of it. It's all lies. All right. Well, like I said, I haven't seen Zach perform. He doesn't make it around my parts too often. I don't know when the last time it was he came by, but once again, he's someone I'd purchase a brew and sit back and listen to the gentleman move his fingers. I do that,
Yeah.
you know. And so it's number 5 pick for Cobra Commander. And at number 4, and at number 4, tell me about this guy.
Papa Hit, James Hetfield.
All right.
And what can you say about James Hetfield? I mean, Metallica.
How long is he's of course one of the original members, right?
He's one of the founding members of Metallica, right there.
And it was him, Lars, and Kurt.
Him and Lars. And believe it or not, it was Dave Mustaine from Megadeth.
Oh, okay.
Before James kicked his ass out.
And was Mustaine the one singing?
No, Mustaine was the lead guitarist.
But who was singing at that time?
James Hetfield.
James Hetfield? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Because he wasn't the original singer at the time, right?
Yeah, James has always been the singer.
No, he's always been a singer?
Yeah.
I thought at one time he wasn't the singer.
No.
I remember there was an interview where he came out and he said, they had gotten rid of their, the singer, right? Or something like that. And he was like, well, shit, how hard can it be to sing? So he actually got up there and he started singing because I don't know, how long they had this singer in the beginning, but, for some reason, I don't know if they kicked him out or he went somewhere else. And instead of having to hassle, having to get another singer, he's like, well, I'll do it, and so, basically it's rock, how good a voice you got to have, and he's been able to do it,
Yeah.
But he's
I've been listening to Metallica since Kill 'Em All, so.
Yeah. How long have they been around?
Metallica's been around since the early 80s, man.
Early 80s, okay.
Yeah.
See, the thing about these guys is that they kind of remind me of a little bit of like a kind of sort of like a U2, okay? Because these guys can still do stadiums, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, there's not that many bands that can be around for decades and sustain that popularity and be able to fill stadiums. Not too many that can do that. U2 is one of them. Who else? Bon Jovi is one of them. Bruce Springsteen is one of them. But Metallica is still up there, and their music, and I don't know how it is with heavy metal nowadays. Well, for popularity for them is good, but I don't know how that particular music is wavering. Because everything's moving to kind of like hip hop and stuff. Or that kind of that kind of music. But yeah, I've heard him, and he's a good front man for them. And like I said, the thing about it is that he can also play. So is he originally from California?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, he's from California.
But I think now he moved to was it Colorado, or he moved up north?
Yeah, he's originally from Downey, California.
Okay. Yeah, he originally moved to somewhere up north, not in the state, outside the state, basically because he was saying that he was driving around in his car and it had these like bull horns in the front, right? and there were people that were, well, this is just one of the incidents. People looked at that in California, and they basically they kind of give them grief, like
Yeah, I kind
yeah,
of remember that.
yeah. I mean, an animal was killed, and you're putting his horns there, and like, hey, cattle is killed for not just the meat, but for their skin, for everything.
Yeah.
That just happens to be one part of the animal. But
Bunch of liberals, man.
yeah, it's just come on, it's like, hey, when you got money, you can't hide it. That's, if you got, you can't hide money, and the gentleman has money. He's done well. Why
Yeah.
persecute him? I mean, maybe if you were talented, man, you'd probably be, well, walking around with a fur coat, from a real animal. So I mean, that's ridiculous. But from what I understand, he likes to go hunting. He likes to skin, the animal and everything. So
Yeah.
he's a true outdoorsman. Kind of, well, someone like Ted Nugent, but
Yeah.
not as politically vocal. But yeah, last time I saw an interview with him was on what's it called? Stern.
Howard Stern.
Howard Stern. There we go. Yeah. So Howard, if you're listening, that's a pretty good interview. I think Cobra could have done better. So yeah, there you go. So this is number 4.
The thing about James Hetfield, though, man, is when you go to a Metallica concert, no matter if you're sitting in the front row or if you're in the back or wherever, everybody's family when you go to the concert. So
that's good, and that he understands, people put hard-earned money to come and see him, and that they purchase expensive beer and ridiculous price shirts. So yeah, he's gonna put in a good performance. So that's good. So this is number Cobra's pick at 4, top 10 at number 4. Now at number 3, I wonder who it could be.
I wonder who.
I wonder who.
Kirk Hammett.
Okay, Kirk. So tell me about Kirk.
Kirk Hammett, lead guitarist for Metallica. Alongside with James Hetfield. Came into the band after the Dave Mustaine kind of beginning there.
Uh-huh. So where's he originally from?
From California, San Francisco, I believe.
San Francisco. Okay, I know he did some coaching. Well, not coaching, but I guess he did take some lessons from a one Joe Satriani.
Yeah.
At one time, I think Joe in an interview said, he goes, when Kurt came, he was already, he already had his stuff down, but he was just looking to improve, more than what he was,
right? Yeah.
At that time. So he had his, he was already, pretty well on his way. Just needed to, smooth out the rough edges, I guess.
He just wanted to tighten up his game,
Yeah, well, there's nothing wrong with that. There's nothing wrong with that. So, and I know that do they always open up with a fistful of gold from the good and the bad and the ugly or something like that?
Man. Yeah.
yeah. Which is from Inicio Maricon, right? He's the he is the I believe that's what it is. He is the composer. That was from the Good and Bad and the Ugly.
Yeah.
When he what's his name was running across the grave, right, trying to find the gold.
Yeah, Clint Eastwood.
Yeah, and so
good movie.
Yeah, and so yeah, they opened up with that, which is I think that's pretty good. That's a little touch of the past. And that's the thing about music from my era, the '80s, is I think I consider it to be some of the best. Before we got got kicked in the teeth in the '90s. But um, so when it comes to Kirk, has he ever worked with anybody outside?
Well, he before Metallica, he played with another band.
Hmm.
I believe it was Exodus.
Okay. But has he ever done like any, projects to help another artist out, stuff like that?
Not that I've ever heard of.
Okay, yeah, because sometimes you
Mm,
have artists that they'll do one song off of someone's album, to help them
yeah,
out, which I think is pretty cool, to be able to, artists contributing to some to with someone else's work.
the only thing I ever heard was that they used to open up for Ozzy, and
Hmm.
Ozzy was like, "Hey, y'all guys need to go on, be on your own because it's kind of hard following up on y'all, because Ozzy was the main
Yeah,
event,
yeah. Well, I
and
think that's some of
so
the
he went,
yeah, I think that's some good advice.
yeah, I mean,
Yeah,
you had the blessing from the Prince of Darkness himself,
yeah. Well,
to start headlining on your
yeah,
own.
that reminds me. One time, there was a comic who told Ronnie Dangerfield. He said, "Hey, Ronnie, can you give me any kind of can you give me any kind of advice? You know, how to do it, right?" And
Yeah,
Rodney Dangerfield said, "You'll find out." Yeah, that's all he said. You'll find out. So, which is I think is really good advice. Basically, the longer you spend doing it, you learn the ropes, and
yeah,
that's what these guys have done. And like I said, they've sustained it to be able to continue playing, in like I said, stadiums, for so many, for even to this day. I think that's and I know they play smaller venues, but yeah, but that's that tells you that they're still up there. And so your number three pick of all time from Cobra is Kirk Hammett.
yep,
All right. So this is getting good, people. This is getting good. Good, good, good. All right. So and at number two. Okay. Tell me about this guy,
Jimi Hendrix.
Jimmy. Okay. Did you ever see him in concert?
No, man, I wasn't even born to go see him in concert, man. He passed away in like 1970.
Okay. That's true. I mean,
So his career only lasted for 4 years. Of course, as his death, had a big part in that. But he remains one of the most influential guitarists in history, and one of the most celebrated musicians of the 20th century.
well, yeah, that's true. In the eyes of many, even younger people, um, you know, they uh, they say that. And now he was right-handed, right? No, no,
Nah, he was left-handed.
he was left-handed,
Yeah, he played. Yeah, he's a lefty.
but he had to turn his guitar the other way around, right? Because
Um,
that one time they didn't make guitars for left-handed, guitar players. So he got the guitar and he switched it around and he played like that.
yeah, yeah.
So my question to you, Mr. Cobra Commander, had he had a left guitar for the left hand instead of the right, right? Or if he had switched it around, would it be just as good?
Probably. I mean, he made it work. He made it work. I mean, if they switched it around, I mean, the ergonomics would have been a lot better on it. So, I mean,
Yeah,
if he made it work, switching strings or whatever he did to, sound that good. I mean, just imagine if he would have had a left-handed guitar.
yeah.
You
So
know,
that's but I mean, I cannot unfathom that they didn't have or they didn't make any guitars for left-handed people, or in this case, make him a custom one, where you had to
yeah,
turn it around. That's very odd, but okay. I mean,
Yeah.
but how many albums did he put out?
Not that many. He only
Yeah.
had a 4-year career, so I mean,
Well, I mean, I know that there's people that they want to do a they want to do a how should I say they want to make a movie about him, but the scripts just keep piling up, and they nothing gets done. You
yeah,
know, but I know there's some conspiracy theories on that.
yeah.
That
But I mean, it's all about like respect to the family as well. You know what the family wants the movie to be about, and
right,
you have to look at it that way too.
right.
You
Well,
can't
see,
just make a movie about someone and just BS it the whole way.
yeah. Well, see, okay, he died basically. He choked on his own vomit, right?
Yeah, OD.
Well, see, this is the thing about it. What happened was that, um, well, for the conspiracy theory side of it, was that he had someone in his security, right?
Hmm.
One of the security guys who they say he went everywhere. Jimmy went, right, but they say that he put out no he took out an insurance policy of like $2 million on Jimi Hendrix, right?
Wow.
And then you know what happened was that to that in order to be able to collect, um, since he OD'd, right?
Hmm.
They're saying, well, the conspiracy is that they actually uh, they had poured a whole bunch of alcohol, down his throat, right? And so when they came to they saw the body, they I guess they touched his lips, and there was actual there was wine coming out, seeping out of the pores of the skin.
Wow.
Yeah. So, and then when that guy had he collected the money, and they never heard from him again. The insurance policy, you know, and he took off, and no one's ever heard from him again. So they're
Yeah.
thinking that foul play was happened when it came to this. So, but we'll never know. And the guy's probably in Tahiti somewhere, or even if he's still alive. But I remember Woodstock. Well, not that I was there or anything, but we had you had several performers there, and one of them was, of course, Carlos Santana, who I don't see on your list. But I understand you're sticking with a certain genre, okay?
Yep.
And then, yeah, I think Jimmy, who was actually um, airborne paratrooper, I believe, right?
Hmm. Yeah. The guy was ahead of his time,
Yeah,
just like a airborne paratrooper, just like my pops.
there you go. Yeah, yeah. And so, of course, not many people know about that. I believe he broke his ankle on a jump, right, or something like that.
Yep.
Or yeah, yeah. So yeah, so wow, he left us, too early, and I would have liked to have heard much more material, that he could have done. Imagine getting rid of that guitar and giving him a Paul Reed Smith, a PRS.
Yep.
Imagine what he could have done,
Yeah.
or what could have came out of that. All
Yeah.
right, so
But his music, he's influenced a whole bunch of other guitarists that we've covered, through this whole list here. If you listen to Kirk Hammett, there's a lot of Hendrix in there.
yeah, yeah, he like I said, it's unbelievable that he influenced so many for a small body of work.
Hmm.
It's a shame that he didn't put out more than he could have. But did he die at 27?
Yep.
So did Kurt Cobain. A lot of them have died at 27.
Yeah, that's crazy, right?
Yeah, there's an actual 27 club. Kurt Cobain's part of it. Jimi Hendrix is part of it, and there's some other
Hmm.
ones that are also part of it. So, but yeah, it's kind of sad. All right, so this is Cobra's pick at number 2, Mr. Jimi Hendrix, uh, top 10 of all time, and at number 1, which I'm not going to disagree with you, you know, and he I think he was classically trained. This particular person here, who you have, but I'm going to let you talk about him instead.
Randy Rhodes.
Randall.
Yep.
Well, you can tell me about that.
Randall William Rhodes.
So, classically trained?
Classically trained. Heavy rock, hard rock, neoclassic metal. Musician, songwriter, producer, music teacher.
So let's go. Let's go to the music teacher. Who did he teach that we may know?
That's a good question here.
Now
he was trained for a career as an elementary and secondary music teacher, School of Music, ensemble director. I mean, this dude was,
well, basically,
master.
He had a good understanding about music. That's the one thing. And but like, did he teach anybody that we may know of? Who's in
that I know of. I mean, he played with Quiet Riot, Ozzy Osbourne.
Yeah, I remember Kevin DeBro, the late Kevin DeBro. He had mentioned something that he had the master tapes of with Randy Rhodes, and he was going to release them, at a certain time. But of course, Kevin DeBro wound up dead in a hotel room. So I don't know where these lost tapes are. I would certainly like to, to listen to what he did there. But and how many albums did he put out with Ozzy, by the way?
With Ozzy, let's see. We had Blizzard of Oz. You had Mr. Crowley, Diary of a Madman, and that's about it. Because of course the tribute in '87 and Ozzy Live in 2011. But he wasn't around for that.
Well, the thing with Randy, it was within the same time, you had I think Eddie Van Halen was already out in the scene, right?
Well, there's an interesting thing about him and Eddie Van Halen. Eddie used to say that he wasn't impressed by his abilities. So, he was somewhat dismissive of Rhodes' playing.
Right.
He said everything he did, he learned from me. So I don't know.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah,
him and Eddie had some kind of beef, or they knew each other before.
Right. So, hold on. Continue. All right. And so, hold on. Yeah. Continue talking there, sir. We got some technical issues here. Where's my cord? There it is. Okay, so he okay. Over here. Oh no, so we're on the other side. Okay. So he but see, I think that's just Eddie Van Halen, just that's the arrogant Eddie Van Halen, back then I think the Eddie Van Halen of today would probably say things differently, but when you're a certain age, you walk kind of brash, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And but this is what I believe personally when it comes to Randy Rhodes, and that's I don't think he would have lasted with Ozzy, just for the fact that the other guitar players he's had, Jake and Zach, right? Um, Ozzy's just a bit of a loose cannon, and I think Randy would have just gone on his own because
Yeah, but I don't know if you ever hear about Ozzy talk about Randy. He was like like a brother to him. So I don't think that would have happened.
well, I mean it's it basically is it's just it's basically hindsight because we just don't know. Okay,
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
even brothers, blood brothers, you know
yeah.
como los
Yeah, look at
como
Alex and Eddie, right?
yeah, yeah. Well, Alex and Eddie, they're still tight, but
Yeah,
you got some brothers that just kill each other, just literally.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
So
if you look at some of Rhodes's influences, the Beatles, the Rolling Stones, he was able to take some of those influences and turn it into his own thing. You know?
right, right. Oh yeah, um, he just he had a just a um, you know even Ozzy said that the way he moved his fingers was kind of like almost like you know I guess mystical in a way, just
Yeah,
uh but I think if he would have still been around, I think it would have been him and Eddie Van Halen, going at it.
yep,
And now the thing where Randy, he was an instructor, so he obviously knew how to read music, right?
yeah,
Eddie Van Halen did not know how to read music. He had to go by the sound and by what he saw. He saw you play something, he'd do the same thing. So
yeah,
that's where tablature came in, you
yep.
know. So but
Yeah,
yeah,
for sure.
I remember when um Randy had passed um the one of the guys from Night Ranger? Yeah.
Mhm.
Brad Gillis, is that his name? He took
Yeah,
over, and of course, he had to learn this stuff like within a few days. He had to learn certain techniques he had never really been accustomed to doing. And then here's this guy, he's playing on stage, trying to help this band. It had been like what, a week and a half, 2 weeks. And Randy had passed it in, and he's over here, and then, the audience is over here. They're flipping them off, and telling them all a whole bunch of smack. Hey man, the
yeah,
guy's there to complete the tour. And so I think that was uncool. But it wasn't his fault. Randy had smashed into a house,
yeah,
but I think that if he had been around, um, I think it would have been him and Eddie, neck and neck, and
yep.
but but sadly we won't ever see that come to fruition. So um, that's but that this is your number one pick of all time, which is Mr. Randall Randall
Uh,
Randall William.
yeah, Randall William Rhodes.
Randall William Rhodes. Okay. All right. Well, then that's number one. So these are Cobra's top 10. And we'll go through them again. And at number 10 was Mr. Lynch, right?
George Lynch,
George. Number 9 was
Mick
Mick Mars.
Mars,
All that sound. And one of the best um,
Dave Murray.
one of the best out there when it comes to rhythm guitar players. I mean this guy can play lead. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he probably can.
Yeah,
That's Adrian's job.
yeah. And of course, yeah. And then number 7 is Adrian himself, and number 6, Mr. J.K. Lee, down on his farm in Virginia. And then number 5,
Zach
Mr. Zach
Wild.
Wild, and then number 4,
Papa Het,
there you
James
go,
Hetfield,
yeah, and number 3,
Kirk Hammett,
Hammett, and number 2, we got
Jimi Hendrix,
Mr. Hendricks, and number 1, of course, again, um, we have
Randy Rhoads.
Randy Rhoads, and the unusual thing that I see here is that you have 7, 8, and 7 from Iron Maiden, right? You have 4
Mm-hmm.
and 3 from Metallica, right?
Yep.
And but 5 and 1 are from Ozzy. So
Mm-hmm.
you have 3 bands with with both of their guitar players, right? Isn't
Neck
that
and neck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you got yeah. It's just that Randy and of course Zach, they never played together. They were
Yeah.
separate. While the other two four guys all play together in 2 different bands. So I was like, well, that's unusual there. But okay, that's cool. That's
Well,
cool.
it's like kind of like Randy was he's the master, just like Jimi Hendrix, and
Yeah,
it's all about the influence. You know,
sure. Yeah,
their style, they rubbed off on everybody else.
right,
So those guys, those top two, those guys were ahead of everybody else
right,
in time wise. So they influenced everybody else, and that's why it's like that.
right. Okay, and of course for all my peeps out there, which would be you seen this?
Yeah,
Okay. Ooh, that looks good. Right?
yeah,
Yvette
it does look
Oka.
good, man.
Ooh, look at it. Yvette's eating something pretty good. I guess that's ramen, right?
I
Yeah, that's
don't know what that is, man. It looks good though.
yeah. Pinche huevo y jamón. What is it?
Yeah,
Puerco.
it looks like a
You can tell this
sunny side
person's
of
not Jewish. I'll tell you that.
the
Person's not Jewish. So that's pretty good. And of course, this is that Remy Centauri. Okay. And so this is
Damn. So can we get racial or what?
no.
No, man. I was
Yeah.
gonna tell you a joke.
Okay, well, we'll talk about it after hours. After hours, Remy. Yeah. Well,
It's a Jewish joke.
okay. Well, I was just hey, the Jews are my friends. You know, because I've never had any of their music. I mean, any of their food or any of their women, but they're my friends. So yeah, this is of
You
course,
have friends?
huh?
You have friends?
But I guess I believe, yeah. I got the old guy at the little mini mart there. He really doesn't talk to me. He just kind of nods his head like, yeah, okay. But yeah, this is of course my Remy Centauri Facebook here, and
Mm-hmm.
and these are all people that uh,
The official Remy Centauri
yeah,
Facebook page.
yes sir, and yeah, they look that looks like Jakey Lee, right?
That might be his uncle.
Yeah, probably so. Yeah, he's got the whiskers there. Yeah,
Yeah.
but no, yeah. This, of course, these are the majority of these people are my friends in South Korea. Some people are from Japan. Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Yeah,
That's
there you
right.
go.
What do you think about Remy Kintari? That's right. Yes, you know it, girl. Yeah, she's my new spokesperson. There you go. Oh man. Oh, you got to give it up for this guy, right? Oh man.
Yeah,
Um,
that's the man right there.
yeah. Main guy, main gun.
Yeah.
All right.
Middle, middle.
And metal. Yeah. But let me take a look here. Okay, we're back, right? Okay. Um, so let me take a look here. Sharing now. You there?
Yeah.
Okay. So let's get back over here. All right, let's take a look. All right. So anyway, so to I guess maybe this uh, Friday we do the
Your top 10?
my top 10. Yeah, see what what I'm going to bring to the table. You know,
Mm-hmm.
and a lot of these I think I've seen the majority.
Mm-hmm.
Probably I've seen the majority of these people. You know,
The style of Remy Centauri.
yeah, yeah. So, maybe who knows? Maybe one day we'll be able to bring in Maximus. I would like to, hear some of his picks.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah, shout out to the maestro, Maximus.
Maximus, yes,
Maximus Brett.
Maximus, yes, that's right. And to
Yeah.
my son, Extreme, wherever he's at, probably asleep. But yeah, I mean, I think that'd be, really cool to, have those individuals come in and, you know, uh, you know, partake in this. But anyway, I want to thank Mr. Cobra Commander here for joining me here today. And I know his time is valuable, but he says it's okay for me to wake him up at all hours of the night. Cabrón, you know. But but like I said, see, Friday, well, yeah, probably Friday, well, maybe Thursday between 11:30 p.m. 11:45. We can get back on and get my top 10 picks when it comes to who I believe are the top 10 guitarists. I may surprise a few of you, some names maybe that you've never heard of, and why I consider them to be um, you know uh, cut above a lot of those other people that are out there. I promise you, it's not going to be anyone from the grunge scene because esos la mera verdad no valen. You know, so that's my take on it. And for those,
Dude, I couldn't even name any guitarists from that.
I couldn't either. I couldn't either. So I can only tell you about the guitarists that were in the '80s going into the '90s, but no one from the beginning '90s through in the middle or anything like that. So
Yeah.
for those of you who feel offended for me talking about offending some people when it comes to the grunge scene, the Seattle scene, the Seattle music scene, well, tough.
Only thing good coming out of Seattle is Queen's Reich, man.
Okay. Yeah. Well, see, they themselves, this is back in the when they come out in the early '80s, right?
Yeah.
So okay, ellos pasan.
Yeah.
So
Shout out to Michael Wilton and Eddie Jackson, Todd LaTorre. Can't wait to see those guys again on the stage.
yeah. Well, and then before we leave here, I heard that they wanted to get the old band back together, right?
Nah, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen, man.
Well, there was a story. It may not be true. I read it. It said, that
With Jeff Tate and everybody.
Jeff Tate was considering. He said it was about time to get the old group back together.
Oh yeah.
And actually, I read this last night. I read it last night, and I put in there Queen's right as of today, right? And it said right there, Jeff Tate wants to get, it's about time to get the old group back together again. So that'd be something, right?
Yeah, that would be something, but man, I don't see that happening.
Well, okay. Well, when it comes down to money, when money, you put in dollars, and shit gets done with money. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, true.
So you never know. So, but it'll be interesting. That'd be a show. I'd like to go see them.
Yeah.
But nevertheless, yeah.
I don't know, man. What do you think about Cobra Toretto opening up for Queen's Reich?
Well, that would in itself that'd be impressive. I mean, are you going to do the Peter Townsend thing and smash your guitar?
Nah, man.
I'd pay money to see that.
Yeah, I'd have to buy a real cheap guitar to do that, man.
And you can bring my nephew on stage. Go out there and
Yeah.
throw him some burritos. Hey, there you go, guy. So yeah, yeah. Well, you never know. If you team up with Maximum, eh, there you
Maximus
go.
and your son over there.
Extreme, yeah. Hey man,
Yeah.
my boy can play. Yeah, he's no joke.
Extreme's always asking me, "Hey man, did you buy another guitar?" I'm like, "No, man, I have too
Yeah.
many already."
Yeah. No, he's no joke. He can play. He really can.
Oh yeah, I know you
So
can play.
yeah.
Yeah,
So
my boy Maximus Fred over there too, man. That's my teacher, man. So
yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah. Well, yeah. When they were here that one time, they were you know playing some. They were jamming out here. It was the last year, I think, and it was good to have him here. And maybe we'll do that again. I don't know, but that's all in time. But we coming this between Thursday 11:30 p.m. through 12 after 12. We'll get back online. We'll do my picks, and then from there, we'll go on and come up with some other. Maybe we'll do bass players of all time, or like I mentioned before, what do we just mash them up? You know, instead of what it'd be like to have Eddie Van Halen play in Billy Gibbons' place for ZZ Top just for one night.
yeah, just for one night, or
Yeah, that'd be pretty
you
cool,
have
right?
Satriani take Kirk Hammett's place in Metallica for one night or something like
Yeah.
that.
Well,
Make it interesting.
that would be a smooth transition right there. You know,
Yeah,
yeah, that'd be very smooth. Yeah, but that,
either that or bringing Jimi Hendrix into Slayer or something.
yeah, yeah, or Stevie Nicks taking the place of Bruce Dickinson.
Oh,
Oh yeah,
wow.
what
Yeah.
do you think about that? Hey, she's got some pipe. She may not be able to move around like that, but maybe she could give it some more feeling. But well, that's something we'll have to visit in the days ahead, maybe in a couple of
Yep.
weeks. So for myself, uh, Mr. Remy Centauri and Mr. Cobra, I just want to say to all my friends, Annyeonghaseyo, Konbanwa, Sawani Donyen, Guten Abend, y Buenas noches. And I know that Cobra Commander feels the same way as well. And
Yep.
he'd feel even better if you offered
I'm
him
gonna do
a
a shout out to Canada, Crown Royal. Only
Crown
good thing
Royal.
ever come out of That's
There
the
you
only thing
go.
ever good thing that come out of Canada right there.
And also from France, Stella Artois. There you go. Woo, Stella Artois.
Yeah,
Woo, woo.
there we go, man.
There you go. And of course, to everyone in Zaylia, Oregon, Heaven on Earth Restaurant, and of course, Acreage Holdings, proprietors of The Botanist. So, all right, well, listen, we'll see you again in a couple of days,
All right, man.
this Friday, and then I hope you all take care of yourselves, and we'll see you around again. All right.
All right.